Okay, well, cool. Nice and fuzzy. I love YouTube live streams. They're great. They're excellent. This will be nice and short tonight, though. Just waiting a second for anybody who ends up watching this as a video up on the channel later, because it always takes a second for YouTube to start processing video and actually sending it and sending notifications, and for people to see that if they want to come, to stop what they're doing and come, or see it on YouTube or whatever. So we'll give it a minute, see if anyone shows up. And by a minute, I mean probably less than a minute. So I keep looking down because my computer is down. Sorry, that probably made a lot of noise when I said my computer is down and then moved it. But it's been a short stream tonight. Oh my gosh. Basic deal is I left my, for those of you who don't know, I've said it on the channel before, but here, this is in Middle Tennessee, and I'm going to school in Knoxville right now. You can probably figure that out. And I'm obviously back in Middle Tennessee right now for just a few days before I head back to Knoxville. So my setup's still a little wonky in Knoxville, but here it was always a little wonky. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm back here in Middle Tennessee for a little bit, but I believe I left my computer charger in Knoxville because I can't find it here. I really hope I left it in Knoxville. Otherwise, that's going to be a problem when I go back to Knoxville and I need the computer for homework, and I don't have the charger. I'm streaming off a laptop because this is my computer. I apologize. I keep forgetting you guys are in the computer right now, as in the microphone is in the computer. So hopefully the background noise, or the noise just from me shifting around, is not terrible, but it probably will be. I keep getting sidetracked. Left the computer charger in Knoxville, I believe, I hope, because I'm going to need it. I need it now, and I don't have it. So that's problem A. Where am I going with this? So I'm live streaming on this laptop. It's at 27% battery at the moment. So I guess here I'm just going to be live streaming until my computer battery, dies. So yeah, that's excellent. That wasn't my original plan. My original plan was just to chill here for a bit, but it looks like chilling here for a little bit is becoming like a little bit, because I don't know how long it's gonna last. I literally don't. I did have it plugged into my iPad Pro charger because there's a USB-C charger. So I had the little thin, tiny cable and like 20-watt power adapter trying to charge my computer with that, because that's what I had. So I plugged it in for about 10 minutes, and the computer went from about 44 to about 48, which really shocked me because I didn't expect it to be able to charge very much at all in that time. And then as soon as I opened Safari on the computer, it dropped back down to 44. So I was like, okay, what? And it was dropping super rapidly while I was setting the stream up. So I was like, okay, I better just hurry and get this going. And now it's been chilling at 27 for longer than it's been chilling at any other percent so far. So yeah. So I'll just be streaming tonight until the computer dies, at which point, or I guess not till the computer dies, till we get down to 2 or 3%, because I don't actually know what's going to happen if the computer dies while the stream's going. I mean, I know the stream would cut off, but that would be weird. When I booted the computer back up, it would probably try to start the stream back up, and that would be wonky. Anyways, so we're still at 27. This is hilarious because it dropped from 40. We've been streaming for 5 minutes now. The computer dropped from about 40% to 27 in the literal 5 minutes it took me to set the stream up, and now it's just stopped at 27. But it looks like we have, according to Activity Monitor, we have 28 minutes worth of charge left, Now, that's usually a very terrible estimate. So we'll see how long we can actually make it. And then I guess my plan is to just take the, like I said, the iPad Pro charger. I have just a really thin USB-C cable and the 20-watt power adapter, and leave this MacBook plugged in overnight and see tomorrow morning if it charged overnight. Obviously, a 20-watt power adapter is not going to be enough to get this computer to power this computer, even just to power it while doing tasks. So like, I'm sure if I had this plugged into the wall, the cable is too short to even do that. But I'm sure if I had the computer plugged into the wall as I'm streaming right now, the computer battery would still be going down, because the 20-watt power adapter is just not still going to supply enough power to keep this thing charged. But I'm hoping that just leaving it plugged in overnight, that I'll be able to, juice it up to actually use tomorrow. Which the problem is, if any of you have ever used a MacBook Pro, at least intensively, the battery life's not terrible if you're just like on Safari. But if you've used a MacBook Pro on an Intel chip, like actually intensively, you'll know the battery life kind of sucks. So doing any kind of video editing or anything, like I have to charge sometimes twice if I'm using it heavily during the day. So like I said, we'll charge it overnight tonight, and I'll see what the heck happens tomorrow. I guess I'll just try to use it really lightly, see if I can squeeze the whole day out of it. I will just pray that my charger is back in Knoxville when I get back there, because I need it for class. If not, worst thing that happens is there's an Apple store like 10 minutes from campus. Worst case scenario, I drive down to the Apple store and get a new power adapter and cord, but I don't want to do that because that's money. I guess I wouldn't have to go to the Apple store. I could probably go to Best Buy or something and just get a really cheap USB-C cable and power adapter. But I don't know. That's my life right now. I was kind of stressed because I was getting ready to stream. I was like, crap, I don't have my charger. Anyways, I've been talking about my computer charger for almost 10 minutes. And yeah. But yeah, live chat is open. I know we only have 2 viewers right now. And not everyone wants to chat. But if anyone wants to chat, I mean, live chat is open. And I do actually have the luxury. 98% of the time, I have the luxury of reading every message that goes through here and talking about every message that goes through here out loud, because there isn't really anyone there. That's that. 3 people now. It's funny. I kind of get a little bit, I don't know if nervous is the right word, but it starts to feel weird when I see that there are actually viewers on the stream. It's different when I'm just recording a video because it's literally that. But when you're streaming, it's like, people are actively watching you, and it's almost kind of weird. I'm not saying go anywhere. No, it's fine. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy it and didn't want to be doing it. It's just a weird concept. Whenever I see the number go up, I'm just like, oh, that's 3 people like watching me. That literally, actively in this moment. Actually, technically not in this moment because of the latency. First of the signal going from my computer to the Wi-Fi network, and then going to a server, then going back to your house, then through your Wi-Fi network or cellular stream or however you're watching. So there is actually a delay. You're not watching me actively. I'm saying something, and probably, given how long YouTube takes, I'm probably saying something and you're probably hearing it at least a few seconds later. So I guess in that case, I'm not being actively watched here. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Oh, we're back down to 2. Someone must have felt bad. Don't feel bad. I like having the viewership. It's just weird to think about it that way. I keep getting on these tangents and basically repeating the same point over and over and over again. So sorry about that. I'll try to talk more normally. I was going to say, I had a water, and I don't know where I put it. I put it right there. This might be the first stream I've had like bottled water. I usually have a soda with me. Either a soda or more often, nothing at all. Yeah, my arm is a tiny bit sore because I got a flu shot today. And speaking of that, I think the last time that I'm gonna look now out of curiosity because I think the last time that I did a live stream was the day or maybe like the day after, but like when I got my first COVID shot, I think was the last live stream I did. How do I? Okay. No, I didn't do a live stream then. I really thought I did. I must have mentioned it in a video. I know in front of the camera I said something about getting my first COVID shot. That was back in like April. And it wasn't a live stream because the last live stream I did prior to this, wow, it's been 7 months since I've done a live stream. The last live stream I did prior to this was my first time playing Bowser's Fury. That was fun. I miss those days. Oh, dang. Before Bowser's Fury, I streamed a little bit of Super Mario 35. Super Mario Bros. 35. That was a fun game that I really wish they didn't get rid of. I still have it on my Switch, and I will never delete it. But since it's an online game and they shut the servers off, it's completely useless. You can't even practice anymore. They had practice levels where you were just, once you had unlocked the levels from the normal online gameplay, you could then play those levels just, on your own, like it was normal Mario Bros, normal Super Mario Bros. That doesn't even work. I went in there to practice a level, and I guess it has to connect to the server for that because I got an error every time I try to do that. So all we have left of Super Mario Bros. 35 is the title screen, and I guess selecting an avatar. Avatar is not the right word. Your symbol. That's all that's left. And you can click into practice mode and you can look at the different courses available. But if you try to click one, it doesn't work. Oh, and you can see your coin count. So you'll never be able to get or spend coins ever again. But you can look at the coin count. But yeah, that's sad. That was so much fun. I don't know what it was about that, but it was fun. Also, Tetris 99 is fun, but I've yet to actually win a round of Tetris 99, whereas I actually won several rounds of Super Mario Bros. 35. And it's not necessarily that I'm better at Super Mario Bros. Than I am Tetris, because the original Super Mario game, which is what 35 was based around, I am very bad at. I've actually never beaten the game all the way through, ever. The farthest I've gotten is on the Game & Watch. That was conveniently right behind me. On the Game & Watch, I've gotten to World 5, but in the version where there's an option on this where it'll actually save your progress. When you beat a world, it'll save that you've beaten that world, so you can go back and start in the first world you haven't beaten yet, basically, which is how the new Super Mario Bros. Games work. Actually, in those, it's just when you get halfway through a world, it saves. But anyways, they added that into the Game & Watch, fun fact. So I've been able to get to World 5 that way, but I haven't even been able to get to World 5 just playing the game. That's how bad I am. But somehow I managed to win Super Mario Bros. 35. I will say the physics are a little bit different. It's based off the original Super Mario Bros., but the physics in Mario 35 have been adjusted to be more in line with some of the more modern Mario games and just modern games in general. I think what always threw me off about Super Mario Bros. Before the original game is that it my brain, I keep just forgetting my thought, is that the physics just threw me off. Anyways, oh, we have a live chat message. Alexander Looney says, Christian, miss you. Oh, what's up, dude? I'll have to get in contact later. Yeah, I knew him back in like elementary school. Fun fact. No, not elementary. It was middle school. It was middle school. But yeah, I knew him, but we kind of went separate ways, and I haven't seen him in forever. So hope you're doing well, dude. I'll have to connect with you later, a little later. Yeah, I've missed you as well. For sure. All right, yeah, I'll call you later. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, the drainage of my computer's battery has significantly slowed now. Like, very significantly. That's odd. Eagle Scout bros? Oh yeah, I guess we both have our Eagle Scouts now. I haven't done my Court of Honor yet, but yeah, congratulations to us both, I suppose. Yeah, I miss Bowser's Fury. Looking back at these past, that was the last time I live streamed. But yeah, that game came out. I guess it was 3D World, but included Bowser's Fury on Switch. Came out like when we had like I was about to say big ice storm. That's not a good description at all because my brain, I keep just getting stuck. Yeah, it's not a good description at all because it's in Tennessee. We don't really have big ice storms. There was some ice that kind of generally came through, and so we were out of school for like a week, and I just kind of played Bowser's Fury all week. It was great. I loved it. Or were we off school that week? Or it may have just been our winter break anyway. Either way, though, there's an ice storm type thing because we're weak Tennesseans and we don't know how to drive in snow. We were stuck inside, and I played a lot of Bowser's Fury. I actually beat the entire game within like a week of it coming out. At least the Bowser's Fury expansion, which is the first time I've actually like beaten a game within the week it came out, just because I don't have that much time to devote to playing games because I do so many other things. And that doesn't even really count because Bowser's Fury is like an expansion. It wasn't a full game. But I still claim I did that. Oh yeah, Alexander says, tell your parents hi. I will. I definitely will. Oh my gosh, some of these live streams are like so old. Yeah, the only two streams I've done in the past year were Bowser's Fury and Mario 35. Now I'm just looking back through my streams for fun. Yo, some of these live streams are just dark. Like literally the lighting was dark. There's some live streams of games back when my capture card worked the way it was supposed to. Yeah, that's why I haven't really live streamed games in forever. I remember I was able to do Bowser's Fury because it actually magically worked that day. But I've tried several times and have failed to be able to live stream with my capture card at the moment. I figure I just need to buy a new capture card, but I don't know if I want to spend $200, $300 on a capture card just in hopes that that's where the issue is, which is why I haven't jumped to the gun yet. And it's not like I'm out of things to do channel wise. I have more videos I'm working on than I have time to work on, and it just keeps piling up the list of things I need to edit and upload. So it's not like I need my capture card to work for streaming to have content to put on the channel. So that's why I haven't jumped the gun on that yet. But that's why there haven't really been any video live streams. Although I believe that it is still, or that the capture card still works for recording gameplay, or I can tell you it does. So I can still record videos of games. I just can't live stream them, and I don't know where the issue or disconnect there is. But I guess even if it's an issue located to localized to the Elgato software I use to stream. There's actually now an OBS plugin, or you can natively use newer Elgato capture cards in OBS. So I could use OBS instead and see if that works. So I guess, yeah, getting a new capture card probably would fix the issue, whatever the issue is. But I just haven't had a reason to do that yet. I probably won't for a little while. I got, for any of you that are looking for new videos, variety entertainment videos, I got so many, like, that are just piling up. There's two Dollywood vlogs from July. Brooke and I went together. We went back to back. Those were back to back days. Right after the Splash Country, the newest video on the channel, other than the lightning rod video, that Splash Country video, that was the first day after a little weekend trip. And then we did Dollywood the next 2 days. That was sweet. And in terms of just amusement park videos alone, this is how much backed up content I have to upload for you guys, or any of you guys that care. I mean, only 20 people watched the Splash Country video, but they had those two Dollywood vlogs. I have another Beach Bend vlog from Nathan and I went to Beach Bend for their last night of what they called Friday Night Lights, which is like their event thing. Well, duh, of course it's an event. If it's at a theme park, it has a name. It's probably an event. Friday Night Lights is their event where it's quite literally what it sounds like. It's Friday nights. They're open really late. I say really late. I'm pretty sure it was like 9 or 10. Relative to theme parks, very late. And you got to... Why does my brain keep freezing like this? I'm like an old, slow computer. Yeah, you get to stay at night. You got to see the rides with their light packages on, and that was about it. The park doesn't really do any like special lighting other than just the light packages that are in the ride. But yeah, that's perfectly fine with me. Because those fairground style light packages actually look really cool when they're in a non-fairground setting. Is the best way I can think to describe it. Because they're the fairground style light packages, but it didn't feel like you were at a fairground. It felt like something else. And it was really cool. That was fun. So that video is coming up. Nathan and I also went to Kentucky Kingdom. That was our new park for the year. Got some new credits. I think 5 credits they had there, if I can count correctly. Yeah, 5. So we got 5 new coasters. We're at a few interesting flats. Got way too many rides in the Storm Chaser. Excellent RMC. I loved that. I was worried because the 2 RMCs I had ridden prior to that were Steel Vengeance and Lightning Rod. And so I worried that I said I loved RMC, but I was like, oh, but I've ridden the 2 best ones. I need to ride one that's like not the 2 best ones. So I rode Storm Chaser, and it was still fantastic. I argue Storm Chaser was very close and very comparable to both Lightning Rod and Steel Vengeance. And it's one of the smaller RMCs, so that really gives me hope that they're all that friggin' awesome, if you know what I mean. Anyways, Kentucky Kingdom was great. And there's some funny stuff in that vlog you'll see when it eventually comes out. But Nathan and I did that in July as well. So then, a little bit of an amusement park hiatus. Yeah, and then I went back to Splash Country alone. That's a video. Then we have 2 or 3. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure it was 3. 3 Dollywood videos. Because in Knoxville, I'm only about 45 minutes away from Dollywood, which is awesome. I've never been that close to an amusement park before. And to be that close to an amusement park, that awesome. So, like, of course, I have a season pass, and I'm going all the time, and I love it. So I have 3 Dollywood vlogs to upload. And then I also have, thrown in the middle, a Beach Bend, a last Beach Bend vlog, the 3rd Beach Bend vlog of the year, because I went by myself. No one wanted to go with me. But I drove the nice 3.5, 4 hours from Knoxville up to Bowling Green, Kentucky to go to Beach Bend's closing day. I don't know. It just felt right because that park's been. It was really cool this year. That was my first park back after the pandemic. I didn't go to any parks for 2020 or half of 2021 until June, a little less than half. But so that was my first park back after quite a long time. It was awesome. I got an awesome season pass deal there that I loved. And so that park just kind of holds a special place for me now. It was special this year. So it felt right to be there for closing day. I didn't do a whole lot that day. I just kind of hung out, but it was nice. It was nice for sure. So that's a thing as well. So that's that's 9 amusement park videos coming for you. And if you want to exclude my solo splash country adventure, because that's technically a water park. Well, it's not technically. It literally is a water park. But I just kind of lump those together because they're similar videos, in my opinion. But if you want strictly theme park videos, there's still 8 coming your way. Probably more soon. So, yeah. I just really hope Dollywood fixes lightning rod. If you saw my last video, it went down. Apparently, it had a little bit of an accident on Friday. I'm still going to say a minor incident because I don't think anyone was significantly injured. If they were, we probably would have heard about it by now. But it was not like a little tiny thing. It was kind of in terms of ride maintenance, it was kind of a big deal and something that will take a while for them to look into. So don't know how long lightning rod's going to be down. I heard today, as of today, it's still down. Or I shouldn't say I've heard. There's actually a website. I don't know if you know, or you probably don't know this. I don't remember how I found this. There's a website. It's literally DollywoodWaitTimes.com. I don't know who does this because it's literally just a white web page with graphs of the wait times throughout the day for Dollywood, and it archives all the data, so you can go click on any day and see what the wait times for any individual attraction, how they fluctuated throughout the day. I'm pretty sure it samples like every 15 minutes. I have no idea how it works because Dollywood used to put their ride wait times on their website. They don't do that anymore. The Dollywood app requires you to turn on location services and be physically located in the park to see wait times. I don't know why that is. Other parks do that too. I know the Cedar Fair parks because I've used their apps. Both Carowinds and Cedar Point both require you to have location services on and be in the park to see wait times in the app. So that's not just a Dollywood thing. That is apparently an industry thing. I don't know why. So yeah, I have no idea how they get the data unless the park themselves gives it to them, or they have someone that goes to the park every day ever and collects data. I don't know. I'm spending too long saying I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works, but DollywoodWaitTimes.com, it is literally an archive of the wait times for Dollywood any day ever. So anyways, I've been checking that, and it said lightning rod's closed for the day every day. And I should say that that hasn't been 100% accurate, but it's been like 90% accurate. Most of the time when I've been in the park, I will check that DollywoodWaitTimes.com website to see if it's accurate, and it's usually accurate. There have been like 1 or 2 times ever that I've caught it make a mistake. So, yeah. Again, I don't know how it works. But I spent too long explaining that. But basically, yeah, I've been looking at that maybe once a day to see if lightning rod's been up. No, it hasn't. So I will definitely. Obviously, I'm not there this weekend because I'm back in Middle Tennessee this weekend. Next weekend, I'm hoping I can get back to Dollywood and see lightning rod with my own 2 eyes and see if they're doing anything with it, because they were not doing anything with it last week. when I went on Saturday. The incident occurred on Friday, and I was there on Saturday, and they were not doing anything with it, so it was just there. Although I had the queue line videos on and running for some reason, that was kind of creepy because I walked up really close to the fence to try to see, and all the lights were off in the station, all the lights were off in the queue, but I heard some sound and like saw some weird lighting effects from in the queue, and so I got to the right angle where I could see, because Dollywood actually has, or Lightning Rod actually has like a TV video that plays in the queue. Fun fact. And I heard the audio and was like, that sounds like the Q video. So I got to the right angle and I saw the edge of the TV screen, one of those Q TV screens, and saw the video was playing. So even though the ride was closed, all the lights were off, nobody was there. The Q video was just playing, which just had me thinking, is that something that just plays 24/7? Like, it's not like it just, they never turn it off? Like, or did someone just forget to turn it off? I don't know. But yeah, for some reason it was running. Anyways, there's your amusement park videos coming soon. Back to that. If you don't like that, I still have tech videos, as in the unboxing video for my iPad. It's been almost a year at this point, and I haven't uploaded that yet. I'll get that out eventually. It's not even the newest iPad anymore. When I got it, it was the, when I got that iPad, it was his iPad Pro 11-inch. I was about to say it was the most expensive iPad you could buy. It was definitely not. The most expensive iPad you could buy would have been the 12.9-inch with cellular. This was the 11-inch and not with cellular. So it wasn't even the most expensive 11-inch. It wasn't even the highest, the most expensive 11-inch iPad. That's irrelevant. It was the newest generation iPad Pro when it came out. It's not anymore. A few months later, the M1 version came out, and we're probably going to get a new iPad Pro decently soon. It'd be funny if we got another iPad Pro before I had time to get that unboxing video out, and so I just released an unboxing for a 2-year-old iPad Pro. It doesn't feel old though, is the thing. I think that's why I keep forgetting to actually edit and release that unboxing video, because my iPad Pro still feels brand new. Like, there are no signs that it's a year-old device at this point. It's still rocketing through any tasks I could throw at it. And that's the thing. I don't use my iPad super intensively, which almost makes me feel bad that I bought a Pro iPad. But there were certain things I wanted in my iPad, like a 120 hertz display and a few other things that only the iPad Pro could give me. Just at the end of the day, I feel bad for paying for that much horsepower in a device that I'm not going to use the horsepower in. But I think, from what I hear, almost everyone who buys an iPad Pro feels that way, because iPad OS is just not built for power users, and there aren't that many apps on the iPad that take advantage of the power of the iPad. So even if you like what I'm saying is, like, 90% of the people that buy an iPad Pro are never going to push that thing to its limits. Like, the chips that Apple puts in the iPads are so powerful, way more powerful than you would ever need it to be for the tasks you'd be doing with an iPad. But the way I look at it, and I make myself feel better about spending money on that kind of power that I'm never going to use, is that it's future-proofing. Because obviously, things, as newer apps come out, newer software, they take advantage, or they use more power. And that's why your older devices slow down, because your processor didn't literally get slower. Your processor is just as powerful as it was the day you bought the device. Just software has been updated to take advantage of more powerful devices, using more horsepower to do more awesome things, which runs slower on older processors. So having such an overkill processor on the iPad Pro, or really all the iPads. Pretty much every iPad you could buy right now has a totally overkill processor. Anyways, but having that overkill processor means that your iPad's going to last a while. You have a lot of headspace. So 5 years down the line, it's like, oh, okay, I'm starting to push it. I'm pushing it to the limits now, maybe past the limits a little bit, but it still works for everything I need it to. So it's a future-proofing thing. But yeah, like every iPad, it's funny, like every iPad that Apple sells right now is significantly more powerful than it needs to be. The iPad Pro, the version I have was with the A12Z processor, which I'm pretty sure is still, at least graphically, the most powerful mobile chipset Apple ever developed. This year, the new iPad Pro, that's the generation ahead of mine, they just went and shoved an M1 chip in it, which is their new Mac chip. So the iPad Pro now literally runs a Mac processor. The iPad Air and iPad Mini both currently have. The iPad Air might have an A14, but the iPad Mini has an A15. They have the same chips as the newest gen iPhones, which are overkill on the iPhones. They're overkill in the iPads. Then even the budget iPad, which is the one that's like starts at like $300, and it's always a bit behind the other iPads in terms of tech, but that's because it's the cheaper option. So of course it's going to be. It has like a 2-year-old, I think at this point, maybe 3, but I think 2-year-old mobile iPhone processor. But that's still more you need. I'm pretty sure it has the same processor as my phone, and that's still more than you need to do most of the things you'd be doing with a budget iPad. So really all of Apple's processors in general are overkill. The iPhone processors are overkill. The M1 processor is totally overkill for a MacBook Air. I mean, a MacBook Air has always been like the device you buy if all you. The MacBook Air has always been the MacBook you buy if all you do is browse the web and type Word documents. Like, then you get a MacBook Air, and that's just what that computer has been. And the M1 chip makes that computer able to do much, much more than that, more than most people that are buying a MacBook Air would do, because most of the people that would be taking advantage of the power the M1 chip has and really pushing that chip to its limits, they're the people that would buy a MacBook Pro, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But so I'm interested to see what's going to happen when Apple puts their own processor architecture in the MacBook Pros, because right now all the MacBook Pros are still on Intel chips. But yeah, I should make a video. I meant to make a video after the April event this year. That was a freaking long time ago. But after that event, I was so just disillusioned with what the heck Apple's plan for their Mac lineup of processors was. When they first announced they were going to be switching from Intel to their own architecture, I was like, that's awesome. Because Apple makes, or they design good chips. Apple doesn't literally make their own chips. They design them and contract them out to someone else to assemble them. But that's just kind of how that stuff works. But yeah, I was excited. And then the November event came out where they announced the M1. I was like, okay. Like, I was hoping to get more than one chip. We got one chip. They put the one chip into a MacBook Air, a MacBook Pro, and a Mac Mini. I was confused because I was like, why does the MacBook Air and the MacBook 13-inch MacBook Pro have the same chip? And then I was really hoping. It seemed like the way they were advertising their chips was like, oh, it's an overhaul of Mac. It completely changes the Mac experience. So I figured that would come with a redesign to the physical design of the Mac. That made sense to me, but that was not what they went with. They just put the M1 chip in the existing bodies. Nothing to physically differentiate them. I was like, okay, that's a weird decision. That was my reaction to the event. I was like, M1 chip, cool. Decisions made with M1 chip, weird. But I was like, okay, let's just say this is like the beta. This is like all right, we're starting to roll it out. We're testing the waters. And I was like, okay, next time Apple talks about chips, it's going to be M1 out the window. Here we have a chip for low-powered devices like the MacBook Air. That's still really awesome. We have a high power chip for pros. We have like a super high power chip for super pros. Those are going into respective devices. The Mac lineup's going to be overhauled, completely, I don't want to say radically new, completely new design. They're going to look different. Everyone's going to know you have an Apple Silicon, which kind of, when April came around, we got our next M1 device, or the next Apple Silicon device announcements. We had the iMac, which it was a redesign, a very significant redesign, and it very much said, I have an Apple Silicon iMac. Like it did. Like it doesn't look anything like any iMac that's been before. That I understand and I get, and that's cool. They put the M1 chip in it again. It's like, I thought we were designing different processors that best suited their devices. But now we've taken a laptop processor and put it in a desktop. I feel like they should have, even for a budget iMac, I feel like they should have designed a chip differently to take advantage of the fact you have a constant power supply. But of course, they did not do that. So that was sad. And then my disillusion got even more when they straight up put the M1 chip in the iPad. I was like, what's happening? What? So yeah, I can make a whole video on this later about, like I explained a minute ago, I way behind on videos, so I don't need more video ideas, but I do need to make a video just talking about what the heck is Apple's Apple Silicon plan at the moment, because as much as I love their silicon design, their processor design, like they know, in my humble opinion, they turned their Mac lineup into kind of a mess with the beginning of this transition. And by putting the M1 chip in the iPad Pro, they've also lumped the iPad into the kind of mess that they created with the Mac lineup, which is just odd. I don't know why. It frustrates me. It kind of stresses me out because I'm like, but hey, I got my Intel. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting you guys are in the computer, so when I pick it up, it probably makes horrible noise. But I forget that, or I just am comfy with the fact I have my Intel MacBook Pro right here. It works just fine for everything I need to do, and I don't have to buy an Apple. I just clapped. That was noise too. I have my Intel MacBook Pro right here. It works for everything I need it to do right now, pretty well. And I won't have to worry about the Apple Silicon situation until I'm ready to upgrade. Well, I am worrying about it right now because I'm interested in this stuff. The better way to phrase that is I don't have to buy an Apple Silicon Mac until Apple is in a place I'm comfortable with that makes sense with their Macs right now. Because right now, as I briefly explained, it's a hodgepodge mess. We have the same chip in a device that's supposed to be for the type of people that browse the internet and type Word documents. And that same chip is in a Pro laptop with not much to differentiate it other than the touch bar, which I do like the touch bar. People hate on it. I like the touch bar. And then we have a chip in an iPad now and an iMac. An iMac's a desktop. It requires a completely different architecture for the processor. You can put a laptop chip in a desktop. They did it. It works just fine, but you had the ability to make it work so much better than it actually does. Apple. It's so weird. Right now, I feel like Apple has things so figured out in some departments, and other departments are such a mess. And the Mac is definitely a mess right now, as I explained. The iPhone, well, they've got that pulled together. They know exactly what they're doing with that. The iPad lineup, other than sticking the M1 in the iPad, I think on the hardware side of things, they know what's going on with the iPad lineup and what they're trying to do there. The Apple Watch lineup, I feel like more than anything else in Apple's lineup right now, they really know what's going on with Apple Watch, both on the software side of things, on the hardware side of things, on the marketing side of things, on the what the heck is the point of this product side of things. Like, they have the Apple Watch figured out. Like, that's the one part of every Apple event when they talk about the Apple Watch. That's the only time when there's not a single thing that I'm like, oh, that's weird, or I don't agree with that. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I see, yeah, makes sense. Like, in my opinion, the Apple Watch is Apple's best product right now for that reason. Because I don't think there's really any loose ends with the Apple Watch. And it's not a stupidly overpriced product either. I shouldn't say it's a perfect product. There is no such thing as a perfect product. Like, it's the closest thing to a perfect product that Apple sells right now, especially at its price point. It's no matter what people say, the Apple Watch is not. I don't believe it to be overpriced in any way. I think you get exactly what you pay for, and like I said, the vision is there, and the vision makes sense. It's understandable. It's predictable. Like, that's the thing with the Mac lineup. I see the vision for the Mac lineup. The vision's there. Just what they're actually actively doing with the new Macs that they're releasing just doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't line up with their vision, but it's a mess, and it's not the same way. The Apple Watch, every update to the Apple Watch has perfectly lined up with this vision that they've clearly laid out for the Apple Watch. The Mac, they lay out a vision, and then they're like, it almost feels, everything since last November almost feels like every new Mac announcement is just barf, like, take Mac. And it's like, yes, it's a good Mac, but like, what is your plan? What is the long-term future of any of this? That's how the iPad feels on the software side. I think on the hardware side of the iPad, things are very figured out. Like, the vision is there for the iPad hardware, just like the watch, and they execute on that in every new iPad. It's like, yes, I see it. The difference is the Apple Watch has both the hardware and software going right in line with their vision, and the integration between those things is perfect. The iPad, the integration between software and hardware on the iPad is wonky, to say the least. And the software side of the iPad, I have no clue what their vision is. Every time they talk iPad software, they're saying something different. Like, every time, like, every event, it's like, all right, let's talk about the iPad, the perfect device for people taking notes in a college environment. Then the next time they talk about the iPad used by professionals all over the world to edit videos. It's like, what? And then next it's like, the iPad used by teachers in classrooms. It's like, what is your vision for this product? I mean, I get it can kind of do a lot of things angle of things, but it's not like you present it like the iPad, a very versatile thing. No, every time they very specifically talk very specifically about, like, the iPad is best for this. And it's a very randomly different thing every time. And the best part is it's usually not something that the iPad software lends very well to. I'm pretty sure there was an Apple event where they literally talked about editing. I don't remember if it was videos or photos. They're talking about doing something on the iPad that was very clearly much easier to do on a Mac just because of the software. So it's like, what is going on here? But yeah, that was kind of ranty. But that's how I'm feeling about Apple right now. There are things like the Apple Watch and the iPhone to an extent where I'm like, I love where they're going with it. Then there's like the iPad and the Mac where I love where they want to go with it. It's not translating. The product is not translating to what they want it to be. So yeah, I don't know what's going on the iPad software side of things, and I definitely don't know what's going on with the Mac side of things, period. Like, I love my MacBook, but like, I'm not gonna buy a new Mac right now because it's a mess. I'm not saying don't buy a new Mac. If you're in the market for a computer, I think a Mac, I'll say it's a great option. It's a decent option depending on what type of person you are. I will still recommend a Windows PC to most people. But if you're in the market for a Mac specifically, I'd say, okay, yeah, go ahead and buy one. I mean, there's plenty of great Mac computer options out there. It's just the overall vision of the product line is very wonky, and I don't get it. Like, well, I'll hate on the new iMac all day, but like at the end of the day, it's a good product, and for the market that they're going for, I think it works. If you want a little desktop computer to use for some light tasks, like that is an amazing option. It's just doesn't fit with what I think Apple wants to do with the Mac lineup. It's confusing to me how, yeah, well, I've explained it 10 times already. It just doesn't make sense. And again, it not making sense is not a reason not to buy it. Because I know at the end of the day, most consumers are not looking at this from a high level angle like I am. They just want to buy a computer and for it to be a good computer and work. And all of the Apple Silicon Mac options right now, they're good products and they work. I'd even say they're great products and they work. So that's fine. I mean, for most consumers, just buy one. But if you're like me, and I know a lot of other people in the tech community feel the way I do, we're just confused. And it's hard to appreciate a good product when you're confused with how the good product fits in with anything else. Anyhow, it's been almost an hour, which is way longer than I expected to be able to go tonight. And my computer is at 2% battery, which probably means I should sign off and then plug this poor MacBook back into a 20-watt iPad charger and see what the heck it does. For reference, the charger that came with this computer that I usually use is like an 86-watt charger. So it's getting like an eighth of the power that it wants to have.